Welcome back to FayetteCountySchoolSports.com. I'm Samantha Burford. I am here with the best guys talking about Region 11 basketball. And now it's our time to talk about UK basketball and EKU basketball. But first, I know you guys are not going to give a shout out to UK cheerleaders that just won the 21st National Championship last night. My family and I watched it all weekend, so
I
am giving out a big shout out. Now listen, EKU cheerleaders did really well, and I'm going with that. They didn't win the national title, but I'm getting ready to say they did get third.
Local influence on both those squads.
Yes.
I've got a neighbor, Hannah Hazelwood, that cheers for UK.
Right. She wasn't on this team.
Two girls from Madison Southern cheer for Eastern.
Yes. Yes.
So
Moorhead got
first in their division. Yeah, there's so many different divisions and dance and cheer. So
Collier girls. That's what I was trying to think.
All right, there you go.
Amanda and Erica. All right, got them in
there. He's over here giving me the EK. He's like doing the whole big hand signals over there. All right, let's talk basketball. And then if you want to do the, a little bit about.
We're going to talk basketball. We don't need to talk about UK, right? Yeah. That's a tough one right there.
I think it's time for reality with the Big Blue Nation. It's just realize that UK is just not as talented this year as we've been accustomed to the last several years. Yeah. And, early on in this, right at the beginning of the year, I thought they would lose 7 or 8 games. Realistically, people were saying I was crazy. I think I may have underestimated it.
Yes.
I think it could very easily be a double-digit loss year. You know they're not going to win the NCAA tournament.
No.
It would be a long shot right now for them to win the SEC tournament. That's 2 losses right there. They've got 4, so that gives you 6. Yeah, and you figure they're going to stumble 4 more times along the way. They got to go at Kansas.
At Arkansas next.
Arkansas's next.
At Kansas. At Tennessee. At South Carolina.
They got LSU coming in.
At A&M, who's winning the SEC.
Yes, and LSU's coming in for senior night.
At Vandy.
You could very easily see them winning or losing 10, 12 games this year.
And it's based on the fact, in my opinion, they have no inside presence.
I think that's the key. I think they really thought that Scow was going to be that player inside.
I made a face when I said that.
Yeah, he is really, unfortunately, he's a kid. And he's shown that
he's a winner. I'm just going to say
he's soft.
What you thinking?
But he's a kid. I think he's over his head a little bit on the inside. I don't think he's going to be that inside peer. I don't ever see him really being that player.
He's not as forceful.
I'm kind of interested to see what Ty Wynyard brings eventually. I don't know where he's at in his development.
You got to remember, Wynyard is just now. He's turning 18 years old this week, maybe, or
he's a kid.
And Humphreys just turned 18 this month.
And they're
all kids. Scal is just
but you get paid $8 million a year. He's really going to have to do some coaching this year that's different than what he's used to. And you got to remember, they aren't computers. They're not engines. You can't just put them out there and make them run and work. And to me, I'm not saying anything about Scal. Where's Poitras? He's a junior. He's a redshirt senior. Redshirt senior. Sometimes he's got it, sometimes he doesn't. But there's the age, and look at the guy's built like a, he's a truck. He's a truck, and so I just think he's.
Well, some people would say, built like Tarzan,
play like Jane.
But
you've heard that before.
In Alex's, I think one thing with Alex is he has that physique. He just expects to overpower everybody. I would like to see him, when he gets the ball in the low post, be a little bit more patient, because he just turns and wants to make one quick power move instead of using some ball fakes, letting the game come to him a little bit more. I think he gets real impatient when he gets the ball inside. And when you think about it, he is the only low post option that UK has.
And he's
just not consistent scoring around the basket like that.
He's 6'9". He's a power man, but
and athletic is all get out.
And the SEC with some big boys down there. look at Simmons as a 6'10" freshman who can play like a point guard.
Right, but where's all of his points come from? 56% of his points come from from layups.
Yeah.
He's not going to set out and try to shoot. He's going to set in there and grind for that 2-pointer. And that's
very guard oriented. Briscoe has shown that he has a lot of tools, but he is not a shooter. Ulis is a great leader. He plays hard, really, really smart point guard. But with his size, he still has trouble finishing around the basket.
He has nobody to go to this year.
And Murray has struggled, trying to learn the difference with his shot selection. Good shot, bad shot, playing under control.
Times when Murray forgets that there's 4 people on the floor.
There is, and he's been able to get by with that.
He just kind of.
They all are able.
But now here's something that you got to think about. Not only does he have the adjustment of playing college basketball, now he's having to make the adjustment of playing college basketball and being the man.
Yeah.
Because defenses right now are being geared to stop him.
Right.
And he's the number one option that
And
you
on
have
the
to
side,
take away.
I tell you, as much as Auburn was a loss and it was what it is, but I like Derek Willis. I thought he played well. I thought he gave me more effort. I thought he played hard. I don't think he's going to be an all-star athlete, but I do think he gave more heart in that game than most of the teams.
And I think you'll see that when I think Dominique's going to start getting more minutes. He's going to have to start using everybody. He's, and it's, he gets why he gets paid the money. Sometimes you ride the bus and sometimes you drive the bus, and he's going to have to drive the bus this year.
It'll be a tough one.
If it could be like football, and we could just have Derek Willis in on offense,
That'd be it.
we would be great.
He's not a defensive player.
Well, and it depends
But I
on who
thought he
you're
played
playing.
well defensively. He had 10 rebounds this game. I thought he hit the glass well. He did a lot of the intangibles that I see him before in defense standing around, before in rebound standing around. He was always that offensive oriented guy. This time I actually saw him play with a little more energy and heart. If he can build on that and get some confidence, I don't think he's going to be an NBA style.
If he'll be provided the opportunity.
He can give you an intangible lift every now and then off the bench.
Depends on his matchup, who they're playing.
Yes.
If he's in guarding the right player and they can afford to keep him on the floor defensively, then he can really help them.
Yeah. What about EKU? What about EKU? They're
EKU's up and down. They've had some injuries that have hurt them, and you have a situation at the point guard where they're really thin.
Yep.
Paul Jackson is starting for them right now. The Weaver kid was coming in behind him and playing a lot of great minutes, and he's got an injury right now that they think may have ended his season. Mm-hmm. So now you got McClone, who is not a point guard, having to come in and play a lot of heavy minutes at the number 1 spot there, and it takes away a lot of your offense if you don't have somebody that can break you down on the dribble and guard the other point guard.
The loss Saturday was hard to watch when they fouled a 3-point shot with the lead. The guy hits all 3 of them, and then they come down and probably took a 3-pointer that wasn't the play the coach drew up.
They had 2 3-pointers to win the game there on the last few seconds, missed them both, but they never should have been in that position.
Right, they did.
These are the bottom feeders they were playing the last 2 games of the OVC, and you've got to take care of business, even if it is on the road. And they've been Jekyll and Hyde. Eastern is 9-1 at home, and they're 2-8 away from home. They're 11-9 overall and 2-3 in the conference. So they've got to really, turn it around here
4 home
pretty
games
quick.
coming up here.
Yeah. Mayo kid has been a bright spot. He's been named
he's a lot of fun to watch.
Freshman of the year
When he's
in the
on,
OVC.
He's fun to watch.
6 times he's been named freshman of the week.
He's that spark
Mm-hmm.
that they
And he's a legitimate D1 athlete. He had other offers. This coach had recruited him to some other schools where he had an opportunity before he came to Eastern. And was it the ACC? I can't remember which conference it was, but there were some good schools that were looking at him. And so he's probably one of the most capable players on the team of leading, and obviously is with 6-time winner as a freshman for Player of the Week.
Well, the thing that ticks me off, though, about Mayo, and nothing against the kid, but people will say, he's too good to have gone to Eastern. He should have gone to some other program. It really bothers me because Eastern is building a program, and who's to say Eastern in a year or 2 is not going to be competitive with some of these other programs that he was mentioning.
Right.
And another player that's really helped them this year, Jamel Rochelle, who was a graduate student that came in here from Rhode Island and has just he's an OVC Player of the Year candidate. Yep. He's averaging 19 points a game. He's one of the leaders in rebounds for the conference, and really smooth player. Does a lot for him. Leads the team in assists. I'd hate to see what Eastern will be back
without him now would be would be one of the bottom feeders right now.
And Javante Hawkins is another player that is just explosive. He averages 16.3 a game. But if you need a kid to get his shot, get their shot, he can get it. And
I think offensively, I have a problem. I watched the Manhattan game and went out and watched the Steve Mont. They were in control of that game most of the time.
So we started off 18-0 against Manhattan.
It's pretty rough. But the only stat that bothers me, they're hitting 8 points or 8 3-pointers a game, but they're giving up 8 3-pointers a game. Well, obviously, the team's not that on the size-wise. They're getting out rebounded about 4 rebounds a game on average. So that's what I've got. But and the assist-to-turnover ratio.
I like the pace and the style that they play at, though. They're fun to watch.
They're great fun to watch.
Yeah.
But
if they could get their defense straightened out, be consistent.
Everybody, that's what the defense is going to win and win the games. I mean, that's what we all talked about.
So how do you see them finishing out?
Well, they're going to have their hands full. You know, they haven't played Belmont yet. You haven't played Moorhead yet. You haven't played Murray yet. So you got, 2 games against Belmont, 2 against Moorhead, and then 1 against
So you got
Murray.
5
I think.
games coming up.
Yeah, those are the teams that you've got to beat if you're going to win the OVC this year.
Belmont's going to be very tough. I think
Well,
they're still
always.
They got Belmont away, and then they got that big home game. I think that's the ESPN game.
It is.
The home game against Belmont.
Yeah.
Then you get Sean coming in from Moorhead. That's going to be a big test again. Moorhead's playing pretty good. Or were playing pretty good at the beginning of the year. I don't know how they've done last few
They got
nights.
upset this weekend, too.
And, of course, Murray is still pretty decent. Murray's still Murray. They may not be the Murray of last year or a couple years ago, but they're still pretty decent ball club. So,
All right, so before we wrap it up, do you want to get the little grind in there about UK offensive football? Coaches. You want to get it in or no?
What offensive football?
Coaches.
He just got it.
Coaches. I guess you got it in. And then we do want to say EKU football. They're changing up the coaching
new coach.
staff. So
Yeah, Coach
head
Hood.
Right.
As a matter of fact, they took away all the coaches. Coach Revere is gone.
Yeah.
Coach Hood. Coach
Started
Wales.
over.
So they brought in a whole new staff.
Yeah.
I think they've made wholesale changes.
As it says, maybe that's what we needed. And they're all not from the family. They're all not EKU graduates anymore.
Well,
Right.
So
You think this is coming from the new athletic
I
director,
do.
Lock Me On?
I do.
Yeah.
And I think they want to get into a different conference. And I
Right.
think they're going to
I
have
think
that
that's
opportunity.
right there.
But I think they've got a lot of new coaches in women's
Mark
basketball, volleyball. They just did football. We'd have basketball.
Well, Mark Elder has been brought in. He was on the staff at Tennessee. He's worked with Chip Jones.
He's with Butch.
Butch Jones,
yeah.
I'm sorry. He'd worked with him at Central Michigan and at Cincinnati, and now, just coming from Tennessee. And he's bringing in some young staff members. And I'm sure there'll be some growing pains, but
Our OC came in. He from a small. Forget the name of the college now. It's a D2 college. Averaging 50 points a game though, for the last 2 seasons. So offense. Hopefully, we'll have some offense next year.
Yeah.
well, he has made the statement that he
Plus,
wants to bring them up to the,
one thing I do like about Coach Elder, what
big
he
time
said,
football level.
he wants to recruit the state of Kentucky. He said there's too many good kids leaving
That leave.
or not playing that can play, and he wants to recruit the state of Kentucky.
And I agree with that 100%. I see that so often, and even in the capacity that I do coaching throughout the state, and see a lot of fabulous athletes going to other schools just because they're not recruited even at all at Kentucky.
Or not playing at all.
And it's just so they give it up altogether or don't do anything. But I'm glad that they're going to
At least
recognize
make that
that.
effort
Yep.
to get some kids from the state of Kentucky.
Right.
Well, he's on board with bringing them up to the FBS level.
Yeah, and he's definitely.
And he
on
said
that.
the way to do that is to win football games. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
That's
One
going to
less-
be a. Do you think it's going to be a challenge for that?
I do.
Getting them to that
I
point?
do.
To a different conference?
Or facilities are not up to
To
par.
get, I was going to say, not necessarily about. I don't even know as far as the talent level he's got coming back next year.
Or facilities just
But
not up to par.
overall, when you're looking at I know they're trying to do some arrangements to the stadium.
They are, the
Try to do
football
all those
stadium.
things, and
We're just not up to par as far as.
yeah, I think that would be more of my. And I question. This is it's one of the things that where the fan base. That team has been successful for a lot of different years, and I just don't still see a fan.
30 years, they've been pretty good. They've had some down times, but for 30 years, we've been pretty solid in the OVC. And yet we can't draw 2,000 people to a game.
Well, this is, you're
That's
talking
the
about
part
the
that is-
facilities. You got to go see Western, and
Oh, yeah.
we used to be better than them. Now they absolutely
definitely-
dominate us in every
Well, I'm not
capacity as
too
far
sure
as
Northern
facilities.
Kentucky's not better than we are right now in some
I'll
of
tell
that
you,
sense.
it all comes down to money.
Yep.
I mean, when you talk about it, the bottom line in college athletics is money, and when you have money behind a program, it's going to excel, and that's what Eastern has to find right now. They have to have new resources and get some more people enthused and get the right money coming in.
Yep.
They've got the far side of the stadium that they're redoing. That's going to be a really classy
If
looking.
they can get it
Did they
done,
get the money?
if they can,
I don't know if they
the money's
finished
not there.
collecting the
No, the
money.
money's not
Right.
there yet.
Right.
you know,
So if they can get it done, that'll be really nice.
President Benson will get it done. He'll find the money somewhere. And there's a huge gap right now in the FCS. North Dakota State has won like what last 4 years, 5 years in a row. Jacksonville State OVC school got to the finals this year, which was great for the OVC, but it wasn't that competitive of a game.
No, OVC football is really down. We haven't EKU's not won a playoff game since '95 or '94, so shows where we are right now.
Right, and that's what that was the kind of.
And the OVC had
it
one
all
game
starts
last few
with,
years ago.
I mean, even just community fan base, you got to get people behind this team.
But if you
and
get
I think
more,
they put a good product on the field. I don't think that EKU put a bad product on the field.
If you get more local kids, you're going to get them people to come and watch. You get them from all over the country, their family ain't going to come from California and watch these
nothing
kids.
to invest in that running back from Iowa. You get a kid from the state of Kentucky, we know his name, we're going to come watch him play. You know, you got to get the local guys.
Congratulations to Damian Harris for his first national
Yeah, that is true.
Harris got his first national title.
You know he's got a ring. Gotta love him for that.
He finished third on the team in rushing this year.
Well, yeah, that one game he had like 75 yards.
So,
yeah. Well, he played special teams a lot.
He played every
blocked a punt in the SEC championship game. So I mean, he had his role and he learned a lot. It's hard to get a lot of playing time when you're playing behind the Heisman Trophy winner.
2,000 plus yards.
And the number one draft pick.
And Kenyon Drake or whoever.
Yeah.
But hey,
Drake's not bad.
Tell you what,
Drake wasn't bad
he's got a ring and he's a national champion.
That's
but
right.
you can't take it away from him because he's a part of that team, and that's to me that's why he went to Alabama. That's why you go. That's why you go with Nick Saban.
Yep.
I mean, he made a good decision as far as I'm concerned. He won a national championship. Good for him.
The facilities down there are phenomenal. I got to see them, and he'll never see anything like that in pros. If he goes that far, I mean, it is unbelievable.
Better than
My son just went on a college visit to High Point and was just blown away. The facilities out there just at High Point, so it was amazing.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's time to wrap it up. We have done our little countdown, and the beeper has sounded. So thank you very much for watching. We want to thank Jack Burford Chevrolet. We want to thank Express Roofing. And, of course, Cumberland Valley National Bank. That's where they have all of our money, right? So thank you for watching, and until next month, we're on Fayette County School Sports Television.